Welcome, everyone. I am calling the Peace River Town Council organizational meeting Monday, October 28th to order at 6:26. So I would first of all like to start our new year with our land acknowledgement. So we acknowledge that this is the homeland of the many diverse First Nations and Métis people whose ancestors have walked this land since time immemorial. We're grateful to work, live, and learn on this traditional territory of Treaty 8. Okay, we have the agenda in front of us. No additions or deletions, I guess. Would someone move the adoption of the agenda?
So moved.
Councillor Ford moves. Everybody's aware of the motion. All those in favor of the motion? Opposed? It is carried. Okay, first up is the appointment of the deputy mayor position, and CAO Miller, you're going to brief us.
Thank you. So as a reminder, the appointment is for the next year. The process is Mayor Manzer will open a procedure, call for nominations. So members of council can nominate each other. If the nomination is accepted and then there'll be a call for any further nominations. If there's more than one nomination that is accepted, we have a silent vote, a secret ballot for you to proceed with.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on the procedure? Okay, then I will now call for nominations for the position of deputy mayor for the next year, 24-25. Councillor or deputy mayor Shannon.
There seems to be an appetite for some rotation here, so I'll be happy to nominate Mark Boychuk.
Thank you. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Okay, any other nominations? Then I will declare nominations closed and confirm the appointment of Mark Boychuk for the 2023-2024 year as deputy mayor of the town of Peace River.
24-25.
24-25. Thank you. And thank you, Deputy Mayor Shannon, for your work this past year in that role. Okay. What do we want?
Could we get a confirming motion?
Okay, so someone maybe could make a motion that council appoint Mark Boychuk as deputy mayor for a one-year term commencing immediately and expiring following the municipal election of 2025. Councillor Good?
I'll be happy.
Okay, Councillor Good, so moves.
Enough of banking with this.
So all those in favor of that motion? Opposed, it is carried. Thank you. Okay, next we have the council appointments to boards and committees, and CAO Miller, you have a briefing note.
Still on holiday brain, I feel like a bit foggy, sorry. Okay, so we have the list before council for the appointment of the committees. So there are a number of committees. Council was asked to submit their interest for the various committees in advance. We've put together a summary of the committees and the those interested parties are attached to it. Where the committee has a red block, I believe, there are two councillors who have expressed interest. And so there'll be needed to be a decision between the two councillors who are interested. One perhaps may choose to step down as an alternate, otherwise we will go through with the secret ballot process where there's more than one of interest. And where there's a yellow block, we require an alternate and nobody has put their name forward for serving on that, aside from the one rep who's expressed interest. So we're looking for names for alternates in the yellow blocks. We're looking for one party for the blocks of the committees that are in red.
This has been updated on Friday or whenever it came out, right?
Cause it came out and then I sent emails, some emails went around, has it been updated since then?
I think so, yes.
But hasn't-
So it has been updated from the time when I sent. So I sent it initially to council and everyone submitted their requests and then I put all the requests in there, I sent it to council and then a few of you emailed back and said, I'll move my name here, I'll take my name off this, I'll move. So it's been updated since
Okay,
that.
that's okay.
But since publishing of the agenda, it has not been updated. I did receive one or two emails afterwards. And I just instructed those members of council that the agenda had been published. So had they wanted to make any adjustments, they would need to bring it up at the meeting because it was already published. But otherwise, yes, it has been updated since the first time council saw it.
Okay, so we'll go with the chart that was in the agenda package then. And I think the first one is number 6, the Peace River Aboriginal Interagency Committee meeting. It looks like we would need an alternate for that.
I can be an alternate on that.
And I did put my name forward as an
Oh.
alternate as well.
But you could take it then, that's more suited for you.
So Mr. Boychuk has put his name forward then? Is that what I heard? Right there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's more suited.
Okay, so this is kind of not a nomination thing, it's a volunteer thing, sort of, for the most part. So is there anyone else who would like to be the alternate for the PRAC committee? Okay, then we'll go with that. Okay, next one up is number 7, the North Peace Housing Foundation. And we have Councillors Carr and Councillor Scamahorn both putting their names forward for that one. Would either of you like to say a few words with respect to your wanting to be the council rep on the housing board?
Right, fine. We'll go back and continue work on there that I was doing before.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. To get back on and continue work I was doing there before.
okay. Councillor Carr?
I enjoyed being on it. I thought I'd be very effective on it when they were doing the proposed development and construction. No, not renovations, when they were gonna develop that area up there. But since that is not going ahead, I question whether I would be as effective as what I would want to be. So I think I'm gonna withdraw my name.
Alternate?
There is
Yes,
no
no
alternate.
alternate.
Oh, no. No, you had it ranked as number 1 and obviously it's important and I don't feel I'd be as effective since that project, so I'm also.
Thanks, sir.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your service on the board this last year. And, okay, so Mr. Scamahorn is the council rep for the housing board. Peace Library System, there is a possibility for an alternate. We can have an alternate on the library system, but we cannot have an alternate on the municipal library board. That's the way the library works.
Those are during the day.
Number 8,
Oh,
They're during the day.
yeah,
I
Yes,
would
they're
like to be your alternate there. If nobody
That's
else would.
Saturday.
it's usually Saturdays. Usually the board would meet in Grand Prairie on Saturdays.
And I'm just your alternate, right?
Yes, is that. Wish. Anyone else? Okay. Then we're down to, number 12, Northern Lakes College Community Education Committee. And both, Counselor Shannon and myself have put our names forward for this one. Do you want to?
I'd like to take my name and remain as a, alternate.
Okay. Any others that want to put their names forward for either of those at this point? Okay, then next up is number 15.
Your worship, Madam Mayor.
Yes,
Apologies, if, I believe there was a counselor possibly interested in putting their name forward for number 14, which would require a discussion, if that's still the case. The request came in after the publishing of the agenda.
And I apologize, that was me that would like to put my name forward for that.
okay,
Which number?
number
14.
14,
Healthcare.
the Peace Regional Healthcare Attraction Retention Committee. So I put my name forward for that one as well. Mark, do you want to say something?
Sure, I hadn't been too worried about this because I've been involved in it through the Peace Advisory Health Committee that it was on until it just recently shut down due to the transformation of AHS. I've been asked by Holly, who is the head of that I would be a valuable member and if I could somehow get on that to assist them in that role. So that's the only reason, not saying Madam Mayor is doing a bad job or anything, but I just have been involved with this for the last couple of years already, but just not meeting with this group. That's all I've been involved in through the Health Advisory Committee at the hospital versus this group here. So working with the same organization. So now that organization is no longer up at the hospital, and I did apply to get on the new one, and I've been interviewed, but they still haven't made their decision yet. So I don't know if I can get in through that way either when the time comes up. But I'm really been after, for the last 5 years, I've been after services to bring specialized care to our hospital and turn our hospital into a special care unit. So that's kind of why I would like to sit on the group.
Okay, so I have sat on this for several years and quite enjoy it. It's one group where you get to at times welcome new healthcare workers to our community, and most recently help organize the post-secondary tour that the committee hosted 28 students from U of A in town for a weekend. And in another year or so should be hosting a high school event as well. But anyways, there's that. It meets on Tuesdays, the fourth Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. So the next one is November 4th. So any further ones on that one? Okay, then I think we get to vote now. Okay, so mark an X on whichever choice is yours for this one.
Very officially, should have taken a little meeting here. Voter right then and there. You get the code, right?
That's right.
Everybody gets the code. And we just vote.
Thank you.
I did offer earlier, don't forget. I did offer earlier.
Oh, you did,
Yes.
absolutely.
So votes are tallied, Counselor Boychuk.
I would remove my name as alternate then. And I'm assuming that the mayor would then take that spot.
I will, and I'll now let Mark know that he almost automatically gets to chair the committee. So turn up on November 4th. Okay, next up, we have the Northern Alberta elected leaders. And this one is this the one where we needed to have a discussion about how many members?
Yes, we get.
Yes.
Okay. So, yes,
So basically, with the Neil, committee, they don't preclude you necessarily from sending more than one representative. They won't stop you from having two members there. However, per the terms of reference, only one of your members is a voting member. So if council saw benefit in having two people attend, and we're okay with that, we can do that, we can authorize that, but you would have to declare who was our voting member if both are in attendance.
or there's one vote per
Council.
council,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
which probably can be done just.
So what is the advantage to sending two people then?
But we had this discussion on.
We have, yep, I wouldn't say that there necessarily is an advantage,
Unless
There
we
was-
vote, yeah.
there was, unless council decided that they felt there was, or that they wanted to because the interest was there. I just wanted everyone to have the information, that it's a possibility, you can do that, but we only have one vote.
So counselors, any comments on two or one person?
Where do you guys meet?
All over the place,
Like,
Yeah, we-
any town in northwestern Alberta,
like Slave Lake, as far as
Um,
Grand Cache. kind of-
Athabasca, not so much Slave Lake, I don't know if they're members. Grand Prairie, High Level, Peace River, Spirit River.
Basically, from my understanding, you could meet in any municipality large enough that's a member.
Mhm.
Usually at the meetings, one of the
White
councilors
Court's on it
will,
too.
will nominate themselves or volunteer themselves to be the next host. And it just circles around as people, offer their municipality as a host. So it could be anywhere of the, member municipalities.
Any other comments on two or one? How many would like two on the committee? How many would like two on the committee?
Or would you both like to be on the committee? Yes?
I think so.
But who gets to vote is the thing. like,
Well,
I
then
think
we-
you
then
discuss it with
we-
each other and then it's,
Agree. Or would we vote on that? I don't know, is it really? Why not?
the municipality gets to,
Well, it would be, I guess. it
one
would be
vote per municipality.
Similar to like on an ICF where you and I both go, we would talk and agree what we're doing as a group.
Mhm.
So right now, there's only one, like one.
We get one vote,
One person,
but one person is going. Right now, one person attends.
And there's one alternate.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah, it
Well,
shows.
there could be an alternate.
yes,
So currently we have one member and one alternate, which we could do right now, or we could just appoint two members and not have any alternates, because then we have two people anyways.
Well, let's do that.
I'm not sure
Was-
that, I'm not sure you really need two people all the time, but I think one thing I want to be assured of is that we have one vote at the table.
Yeah.
So having a member and an alternate gives you that assurance. And I think that, yeah, it's just my feeling.
What, these are full day meetings, I'm assuming they were full day weekday meetings.
yes.
Well, what we should do is who would be even available to attend full day weekday meetings? So we're sure to have someone at the table and we could send two people and have an alternate so that we always have, worst case scenario, we have somebody there. It just can't be me.
But don't we have to put that in the budget to get the new? like-
That's what I was gonna ask, is if you're sending two, if you appoint two people and no alternate, that affects your budget then. Am I right? Because one person, now you're sending two people, and if it's an all-day meeting, that now affects the honorarium.
Is this a big impact? to the-
No.
Yeah, no,
I would consider this a negligible impact.
Yeah.
To assure that we have
For the benefit, I think.
3 swings at the chair.
Okay, I'm convinced.
And it shows good representation to a good group from our community. That's what I
Yeah,
like it. you know,
That's fair.
It's a,
Is there
it's
somebody?
from all of our local
Be
neighbors,
alternate.
and it's a chance for us to build even better relationships.
No, I don't, not an all-day meeting,
An all-day meeting.
out of town. You know, I
We just don't have
them.
I don't mind being an alternate.
Oh, yeah.
There you
Can
go.
have the-
Okay,
Well,
well,
depending when it is, but I get a lot. I
well,
only work
it might
half
land on a
the
day
time,
you
right?
can, it might when it's not, but at least it's on paper that you
It's
can
on
be
paper.
there and you have council say so. So if, let's say these two can't go,
Then I have
We
enough
have
time, I can book
somebody.
a day off or something. If I have 50-50 chances on my day off. So
Okay, so, what I'm hearing is two people. Do we need to make a special motion for that one? Or will it just be all in the end?
it'll be one motion
In
at
the
the
end.
end.
Okay. You're okay? What do you think?
Well, you need to decide if the two are going, who is the voting person in the first? Who has the vote?
I think it's, just agreed between, sorry,
It'd be a Peace River vote, not a
Yes.
members vote.
I have a question now. Where would that leave our subcommittee?
Like the vacancy.
How would that work into that?
I don't know. I attended one of the CRAA meetings at 8 o'clock this morning. It was on virtual, so, one of us would have to deal with that one.
Or do we deal with that at the, I'm not sure how does that work? So who is
You
the
have
rep
to
on
have
that
time.
subcommittee then?
Well, you have to be one of the two people or the
Mhm,
alternate to be able to attend the subcommittee.
So we both attend
It'd
those
be
two?
between the three of you to decide who's attending.
The two.
Well,
I can't
two.
have it every time I see them.
Maybe we can sort this out once we find out when the next meeting is. There's one on November 4th from 12 to 2 in Edmonton or by virtual. I know that
There
too.
we go. We can put in savings already by attending. Just
Okay, so, Mayor Manzer and Councillor Shannon will be the two reps for Northern Alberta elected leaders. And the next one with colors is number 22, the Mighty Peace Tourism Association.
Oh, that one is
Councillor Scammerhorn has indicated he would like to be council rep.
myself.
And, okay, so Councillor Shannon. right there too. Okay, so, any others for Mighty Peace Tourism?
Oh,
I
I
just-
was just gonna say, I have this very low on my priority list, as you can count, because I just put myself up for anything I could potentially attend. So there's a hole in the alternate spot. Is there not?
So you'll move to that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so these meetings are the 5th Mondays in the evening.
And I ended up at one. Did you have, how many were you able to go to? Two out of 4.
But as I asked
So
you,
that's not.
well,
that's not-
there wasn't even four, I
There
don't
wasn't
think that
even
year. I spoke to Tanya about that and
So as it goes.
just unfortunate timing.
Yeah.
Okay, so any others on that committee? Okay, next up, we have number 25, the Peace Region Economic Development Alliance, PREDA. And both, Councillor Shannon and Mayor Manzer put their names forward for this one. So, and there's room for an alternate. Apparently. So I served on this one this past year and, would like to continue on it. I find it, very interesting and, I'm able to, I hope, communicate back to council what is happening on that committee. But Councillor Shannon,
When I first got on council, I advocated to get this committee back because we had stopped participating in the committee. And when I asked why, I was told that they didn't see any good in the committee. And it was stopped, so I advocated to get it back on the list. I was unsuccessful last year at getting the position, but I very much want to be in on this right now. I know that every one of us at this table, it is our last year. Every one of us had a platform, everybody had a plan. I want to finish my plan. And I was unable to do that as much as I wanted in the first few years as I was ill. Now I am not, so I would like to take that next step and fulfill with other roles I've taken across the province and with all my other committees. And I think this would fit in absolutely perfect with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments on this one? Okay, then we'll have the vote. Wouldn't be approved by the province.
Mm-mm.
They'd be happy your hand counting.
Well, maybe they'd be happy. Well, no, they wouldn't. Yeah, they'd like the hand counting, except when it's provincial level. Better watch it, you know.
Yeah. Have you watched any of his Trumps?
Councillor Shannon.
Okay, thank you. And next one up is our Northern Transportation Advocacy Bureau, NTAB.
So you would become the alternate on that one?
Yeah, I guess so,
There is an alternate spot there.
but I need to know for sure, heads up when the meetings are. So anyways, on next one is the 26th Northern Transportation Advocacy Bureau, NTAB. And again, Councillor Shannon and Mayor Manzer have put their names forward for this one. So Councillor Shannon, would you like to speak to this one? Go ahead. I'll let you go ahead this time.
Sure. This will fit into my other committees perfectly with different investors I'm working with. One of the biggest issues with economic development up here in Northern Alberta is our transportation system and lack thereof. It fits in with my new role on the provincial role and with all my other economic development committees. And like I said, I am now ready to start executing some of the things I've worked on for the last 3 years, and I'm going to need to get in there and do some work. And I would really like to belong to this because it actually ties very well, nicely hand in hand with the other economic development stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. And so I would just like to say that as mayor, I figure that I too have an interest in how Peace River and our Northwest region has access to transportation in all sorts of fashions, including not only the CN, but the rest of it. And I would like to stay on this committee. Any others? Okay, then we vote.
When was that?
Yeah, the Trump rally yesterday, that community.
We'll have to watch the news.
Just sickening.
Oh, that, yeah, I
Oh, it's horrible.
I just saw like a clip of what was said this morning. It was sickening.
I think if it was neck and neck, I don't think it is anymore. Not that it breaks my heart.
Oh, just where is our world coming to? Like, it's heartbreaking.
Mayor Manzer.
Thank you.
Councilor Shannon, we move to the alternate. Sure.
Snatching the fruit from the jaws of the tree.
Okay, thank you, everyone. So, just a reminder, it's up to the primary person to make sure that, minutes and so on come back to council at an appropriate time to get on the agenda and to let the alternates know, when the meetings are and so on. I would, I don't know if this will go over well because it's extra money, but I would almost like to suggest that, if you have not, if the alternates have never been to one of these committee meetings, is it possible that they could turn up at one of them, even if the primary person is there, so that they have some clue as to what's going on? That's just my question, and I realize it has a financial implication too. So it would be,
I know the committees that I sit on have no issues whatsoever.
With an extra.
Yeah, like the RCMP advisory committee, if I went and, Councillor Scannahorn's my alternate, they would not have a problem with both of us being there at the same time.
I hadn't considered that aspect. I was just considering it from the alternate's viewpoint. Councillor Shannon.
I had asked about that before. Remember that, Kayla? Because some, other councils allow it, but when I asked, they said, no, you'd have to have the permission of the chair of that committee. So are you suggesting that they go every time or once or?
For an introduction, there's no comment.
Oh,
I
okay.
was suggesting for an introduction, but that's another nuance I haven't really thought about. Ms. Parsons?
Yeah, that was a great comment. I think making sure that the committee itself is okay with that. Some of ours are in-house, so it's a little bit easier, but others are outside committees, so we want to seek approval there. Something I think we had also suggested, when you had asked that question is, if there was something really big going on at one of the committees that would be of good information, could be incumbent on the primary to ask if the alternate wanted to go. I mean, obviously confirming again with the committees, but if there was something,
So maybe I should rephrase that, we find out from some of the committees if that's okay first before we make a thoughtful decision.
Speaking on behalf of the Mental Health Task Force, it would not be a problem, and I'd like to invite Councillor Scannahorn tomorrow, because we have a pretty important meeting going down.
Mercer PAC should not be an issue either. So I don't see that one, being a problem. Community Services Board meetings are open to the public. So that obviously
Come on down.
would be a problem. ICFs,
Soon we're gonna publish them.
ICFs would depend.
Oh, are you?
I see
don't-
probably not.
I don't think that would work on ICFs
Yeah.
for alternates. Those are all the ones I can think of that I could weigh in on.
So maybe play it by ear and over the next month, and then maybe we can come back to the conversation just to see.
Subdivision appeal board, not a
No.
chance.
I've been to a couple RCMP meetings, that's not I'm familiar, I don't go in.
So now maybe we would have a motion that council appoint members of the council to committees and boards of council as discussed during the 2024 organizational meeting, with a list of appointments being attached and forming part of these minutes. Councillor Good, so moves. Okay, everybody's clear on the motion.
Oh, I don't know if it's.
All those in favor of the motion? Opposed, it is carried. Thank you. Okay, next up, we have a proposed regular meeting schedule of the next year. And who's speaking to this? CEO Miller?
Sure, thank you, Your Worship. So our council procedure bylaw outlines that the regular scheduled dates for council meetings and GMP meetings but typically council likes to, actually set the official schedule annually at the organizational meeting. So the, proposed schedule is before you. Couple of things to note. For July and August, administration is recommending, once again, one meeting per month to allow us time to actually catch up on work, do some research, and prepare for September, and to allow for holidays. Plus, we tend to get quite busy during the wildfire season. A special meeting, just to keep in mind, if things come up and we feel the need for a meeting, we can always call a special meeting to address any issues that can't wait. We have not scheduled a GMP in January 2025 because of the holiday. It makes it nearly impossible for us to put an agenda together. We're wondering if council would like to change the GMP meeting in June to account for attendance at FCM to allow for travel. And then lastly, September 22nd is the last regular meeting for this council term. Typically things shut down in advance of an election. And I think that's all.
Where is FCM next year?
It's in Ottawa, I believe, isn't it? Yes, Ottawa.
Who might be going to that? I might actually.
See what's on the agenda.
No.
I won't be going.
If it's in the west, it's not bad. I didn't find
I have a reason.
this year it would be worth traveling a whole lot farther for, just for what was there and that, although the recycling plant was.
So what I'm hearing is one person might be wanting to go to.
I'd possibly be interested too, because when I attended in Toronto, there was a lot of things there that were really relevant. So like I said, I look at the agenda, if there's social issues and stuff like that, because they were investigating a lot of mobile outreach teams when I went there, and that helped me bring back a lot of good stuff there.
Okay, so, Ms. Parsons,
We also don't have to make that decision right now if council's unsure about who will be attending and who won't, and if we can move that meeting at a later time and just leave it for now. Just, it was
I
just a note
kind of
that
think
we
it's
made, but-
easier to decide it now so that other meetings get built around it.
Are you talking about the June 1st, June 2nd?
Yes.
What would happen if we moved that to the 16th and did regular GMP, or move GMP to 8 and do 15 and 16? Report to me, 15
The
and
8th is
23.
Sunday.
The other thing too is if it's FCM that week and there's 182, why even bother moving it? It's only a
Yeah,
GP
true.
meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still have 4.
Well,
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so if
Yeah.
one or two go, maybe leave it as is, but if more than that decide,
And you
then
have to
we
start
should
thinking.
discuss. I would like to suggest in July that if we only have one meeting, that it move to July 14th, because that then gives us a nice break between July 14th and August 25th, rather than the end of July and the end of August. Any thoughts on that? July 14th become a regular council meeting in July and not the 28th. So that we get a nice longer break between July 14th and the end of August.
How does that work for administration?
They love it.
Okay,
Holidays.
and my other thought is this would be the first time, I think, since I've been elected, that we would not have had a meeting in October, even if it is election. Because if we don't have a meeting in October, it means we've met on September 22nd, and there is a whole month and more in there of no meetings, etc. Realize it's election, but there's usually some just regular council meeting, not a big decision type stuff, but regular council meeting stuff that could get decided so that the new council doesn't end up with a very lengthy couple meetings. So, yeah, so I would like to suggest that we do have a council meeting in October. And perhaps it be the 14th of October, or the 7th, it's well away from,
6 or 7.
26.
6 is Monday.
what's, yeah, is that okay with people?
It would be a regular council meeting,
Yeah.
not a GM.
Yeah,
To, what was the phrase? Clear the decks.
yeah,
As Tom said.
yeah.
BC Tony.
Okay, and does counselors, anything else that you noticed here that you want to question? That Mrs. Miller mentioned there would be no GMP in January. And December, it's what's become the pattern, have a GMP and one regular council meeting. That makes sense for people? Okay, so perhaps we could have, someone move that council accept the 2025 regular council meeting and regular governance and priorities committee meeting calendar as amended, with such meetings taking place at 5 p.m. in Peace River Council chambers on the dates indicated, and that such a calendar shall be attached and form part of these minutes. That work?
Sounds good.
Councillor Carr, so moves. We're all understanding that motion.
You're
All-
pointing
All
at me.
those in favor? Opposed is carried. Great. Okay. Legislative responsibilities of council. So we have a document that's included in these minutes. That is well worth a read. There is a review or whatever. Mrs. Miller, did you have any comment you wanted on that?
No,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Okay, maybe someone would move that council accept the briefing note regarding council legislative responsibilities for information. Councillor Boychuk so moves. All Deputy Mayor Boychuk so moves. All those in favor? Opposed, it is carried. Thank you. Okay, and somebody else is maybe going to move the council adjourn this meeting at 7:09 p.m. Yeah, Mr. Skinner, so moves. All those in favor? Great, it is carried. And we'll wait till we turn that.